On the theme of happiness, how do I stay in that zone when riding that happiness feeling? I sometimes bring myself out of it with negative thoughts. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's exactly what they said. When I saw that one, I was like,
Yeah.
ooh, guilty. you know,
Right. Is
guilty
that the
of
one we're
that.
going to address next time,
Yes,
or
sir. Yeah, we're going to get that one next time
now?
because
That's a beautiful. Say the question one more time.
absolutely. On the theme of happiness, how do I stay in that zone when riding that happiness feeling? I sometimes bring myself out of it with negative thoughts. Man, I'm telling you, I was like, yes, we will
Yeah.
absolutely answer that question for you.
Yeah. They must have been hanging around me because I
Yeah,
I gave
yeah.
example in one of our podcasts of being at lunch with a friend.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and we having a beautiful lunch. Everything's going well. I think of something. I ruin lunch.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to our podcast. Pops, first of all, happy Father's Day, my man.
Thank you, Raven.
How you feeling, brother?
I'm feeling good today, man. I'm just good day to be alive and be in Father's Day, and it's good, the beautiful weather outside today too, so that makes it a little bit better.
So we had a few weeks to marinate on the last question that we have. Do you remember what it was, or do you want me to go ahead and just read that back
Yeah,
out
I'd
to you?
rather you repeat it again just where I can refresh. I remember. I'd like to hear the details on it again.
Absolutely. The previous question was on the theme of happiness. How do I stay in that zone when riding that happiness feeling? I sometimes bring myself out of it with negative thoughts. And that's, I dare say everybody has gone through that, you know?
I'd say that's a part of just human nature,
Right, right, right.
and I think we learn, we become who we are by our lives and over the years. So we learn behaviors
Right.
by repeating it.
Yes, yes.
So if you have had a lot of trauma in your life, a lot of disappointment, a lot of discouragement, which we all have, you know, whether it was created by us or created by circumstance, we've all had that.
Hmm.
And so what we've done, we have learned how to focus on those thoughts. We learn how to give those thoughts power, and so that's what has happened.
Yep, I agree.
And certain thoughts have certain powers, and the more feeling you have with it, the more it's likely to interrupt your day.
Agreed.
Unfortunately, for human beings, that's not. We don't have that problem with the good thoughts.
Yeah, yeah.
I would love for the best day of my life to jump on me every morning and just make me ecstatic to where I couldn't do what I'm supposed to do.
Right. True.
You follow what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
So I wake up and I want to do a certain thing, but that feeling come in and it's so strong, and I'm so happy I can't even do what I'm supposed to do that day
Right.
because I'm so ecstatic about how I feel in those thoughts.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, in my experience, that doesn't happen. Those thoughts do not dictate you like that.
Yeah, it's so true.
And if you do happen to get that euphoric feeling of something that happened in the past, it normally sneaks up on you and it lasts for just a small amount of time.
Agreed.
But uh, it doesn't seem to be something that you can recall at a moment's notice. So in other words, you want to recall a situation that made you feel the best you've ever felt. I have not discovered where I can recall that on demand.
Yeah, it's the brain doesn't work that way, right?
No, the brain doesn't work that way. So I have not recalled, like, whatever special day it might be.
Right.
Everybody's got a special day in their life. It could be anything from a wedding to a day at the park or whatever
Hmm.
you had. It could be something from a childhood to any part of your life. You just had a special abnormally happy day,
Right.
and you remember that, and you wish you could recall how you felt that day. But unfortunately, I have not found a formula to re-pull that up and pull it in.
Yeah.
I can remember and feel, have a little good memory about it, but I can't bring forth that feeling that I had.
Well, it's kind of hard because it's the same way. Let's put it in perspective. People get into drugs because the dopamine hit on that first drug encounter
Right,
is way up
right,
there. And then
right.
the same thing with something that happens in your life that makes you feel happy. That dopamine
Hmm.
hit is never as strong as it is when you think about it. And each time you do think about it, it's less and less dopamine hit.
And that, to your point, that's why a lot of people keep doing the drugs, for example.
Oh, absolutely. Or like you
They
said, they
want that
just they.
first. They want that first high,
Mm-hmm.
and it's never going to happen again.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's why this question is so important because how do you stay in that zone when riding that happiness feeling? Because you don't want to tell people
Right,
to just to do drugs, you
right.
know?
So, yeah. So, kind of transition into this question.
Mm-hmm.
So, I kind of explained how we have the good days, and the day we would like to recall that we're not able to, as far as the feeling that they bring.
Right,
But also, we have years of feelings and trauma that are there,
right,
and they can be recalled instantly. The feeling can be recalled instantly.
right.
It's interesting how you can be um, somewhere and think about something, you automatically get mad about something
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
that somebody did to you 10 years ago. And the reason that has power, because that feeling of anger actually comes to you,
Yeah.
and you feel it again.
There's something about a negative energy or a negative force that can quickly overpower positive force. I
Exactly.
don't know why, but that negativity seems to be way stronger to stay in than positivity.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And I think I would just think that it's probably got to do with the years of practicing it, what we practice,
Ah,
or what we learn.
right,
Human beings, we tend to um, not process everything real well.
right,
So we'll have an incident that happens, and it'll get us a little angry. We'll throw it in the background, so to speak. When we get up in the morning, we get ready to get started. Our day is fresh. We have opportunity to start a brand new day with whatever we want to do and whatever we want to think.
mm-hmm,
But the real situation that exists is, I call it, we have two baskets: the bad basket and the good basket. We can choose from, and that we naturally used to choosing from the bad basket just by routine. That's why when you go into work or something, somebody cut you off, so you get mad
mm-hmm,
because you so used to choosing out of the bad basket that you get it. It's choose out of the bad basket, and then in a sense, it makes you feel good to get mad.
right,
So what I started a few years ago was actually visualizing two baskets, one's good and one bad, and choosing which one I'm gonna choose out of that day, which one I'm gonna use my thoughts for. I'm gonna think good thoughts today.
right,
So I'm gonna ignore that bad thought and go for a good thought. Because if you're thinking about something that happened 5 years ago, that's history.
yeah, exactly.
That's not even occurring today.
Mm-hmm. There's absolutely nothing you
But
can do about it.
but when that thought comes, all those feelings come. So we started dwelling on those. Like, I wish I hadn't done that or whatever. But it immediately pulls you back to that negative part of your life.
Right.
So Raven, I'm gonna just hit you. How do you try to deal with some of those situations? See how you feel about it when you know I mean, we all have it. It's common for all of us.
Hmm.
What are some of the things you try to do when you have a thought that comes up that um, you know it's just past history
Right.
and it's not going to produce anything good, but yet it brings those feelings with it
Yep.
that are so powerful.
Right.
So, what are some of the things that you try to do to offset that?
It used to be, 10 years ago, 15 years ago, I would just stew over it, which is always nothing you could do about it.
Yeah.
Somebody did something, the boss did something, a friend said something to me, and I would stew over it for weeks. And then 3 years later, I'm in a good situation and somebody happens to say something that triggers that thought, and I'm like, oh no, day's over.
Right.
But
Right. Right.
what I finally had to accept is when that thought comes in, I give it a little bit of time to do its thing.
Hmm.
Because first of all, if I'm positive, there's always going to be something that's going to be negative that could try to bring me back down, right?
Always.
And if I'm negative, there's going to be something positive that can take me out of the negativity. So I always try to uh, marry both together.
Right.
So
Right.
if that thought triggers me, I just like you said, the perfect thing to do is accept it and realize it did trigger you. Allow yourself to go, okay, that just triggered me. Okay, that's trying to bring me down. But then you stop it. You file that,
Hmm.
and you go, let me go back to the present and then focus on the good day that's being had. And then when you're back into a positive mindset, you can go back. Why did that trigger me? What was it that made me trigger and become negative? And then you can start healing from that.
Exactly. That's what I was kind of hoping that you might say.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say if we break it down, the first thing is we all have to realize that we basically all kind of a little bit traumatized from life.
Yep. Absolutely.
Some of
Absolutely.
us less than others, some of us more than others.
Right.
But all of us have experienced trauma.
Right.
And so, uh, going to the question, how can a thought have so much power to ruin my day
Mm-hmm.
when it's not? And when you look at it, when you really look at it realistically, it's not even real.
Right. Exactly right.
It's a fictitious thing because it's part of history.
Mm-hmm.
So I think what you were saying, I totally agree with it. One of the things that I think one of the things that helped me is first of all learning to um, keep my mind open enough where I can recognize what's going on with me.
Right. Right.
In other words, I mean, there's a term that some people use called watching the watcher,
Mm-hmm.
which means like we have basically two brains, basically. One's the one we operate in, and one's the one in the background.
Right. Right.
So what I mean by watching the watcher, you put the one in the background in a watch mode.
Right.
So you said, I'm gonna see what I think about today.
Yeah.
Okay, so you do that, and when that watch mode is on, in other words, what you've done is you take control of your mind, so to speak.
Yes.
You said, I'm going to slow it down enough where I can watch how I think, how I act, and how I feel.
Mm-hmm.
And and you can only slow that down when you start taking control of your life.
Yes.
I mean, we talked about this before. It takes a little bit of time. It takes practice. It takes dedication, and it takes desire to do it.
Exactly right.
Now, not that it's really hard or impossible, but it does take some energy to do it. But if we're in a good mode, a good mental position, when that memory comes in, we catch it right at the beginning and says, "Oh wow, it's trying to go back to that again."
Mm-hmm.
That's not even important.
Right.
And then as you develop the experience with it, which is going to take some time, you will say, that's not something I'm thinking about today. You're not even real. You don't exist. I'm not thinking about you. And you go on to the next, you go on to whatever you want to think about, or, turn your radio on some soft music or something, and you dismiss it.
Yeah.
And once you do that, you get to work and you find out, hey, I feel pretty good today. You haven't let that memory bring up that emotion, which brings up the feelings and all those thoughts that ruin your day.
Right. Right.
When you had a choice, but instead of letting that choice make you reach in a bad basket and bring some of the other stuff with it,
Mm-hmm.
you reached in the good basket and brought good stuff with it.
Right. The normalcy of our lives that you go about going to work, going through traffic, getting lunch. I don't even put that on my mind because that's just going to happen, right? So
Right.
anything that I encounter on a day-to-day basis that is just routine, I don't even worry about it. Work's going to be work. Traffic's going to be traffic. First thing I do is, man, what am I looking forward to today? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because if you don't do that, man, Monday's going to be long, Tuesday's going to be long. The whole week before. That's why people on Monday morning, the first thing they say to their coworkers, I just can't wait for Friday. It's like,
Yeah.
you just wasted 5 days of your life because you're not finding something that day to look forward to. And it could be, I look forward to, eating that salad or eating that fried chicken for lunch.
Right.
But I always try to look at something that I'm looking forward to for that day. And when that happens, I'm good. Everything else
So,
that,
so
go
ahead.
I was just saying everything else that happens during the day that's just routine. It's going to happen. Your boss is going to come to you probably with an attitude. Guess what? That's going to happen. Coworker's going to say something to you that you're just not going to like. Hey, that's the nature of the job. Who cares?
So what you saying you're doing, you placing something positive in your mind.
Yeah. Yeah.
You starting out with something positive. In other words, you saying, in a sense, I want to concentrate on things that gonna make me happy today.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't want to concentrate on the mundane things that just happen in life.
Mm-hmm.
That's just life.
Exactly. That's just life.
Yeah. So why should I worry about? My boss may say this, or I may not like my lunch, or I may not have a good break. And why do you even give those things any thoughts?
Mm-hmm.
Because really they are non-existent at that point.
Mm-hmm.
And they really don't matter.
It was something you and Mom told me a long time ago, which I didn't understand at the time, but I have an issue, right? And both of y'all would say, you just keep living. Just keep living. I was like, what kind of answer is that to somebody, I'm like, what do you mean keep living? And then it's, you go to work, your boss comes up to you and goes, hey, I know it's Thursday, but I do need that report by tomorrow at 5. When you can sit there and just go, absolutely. And then when they walk away, you can just laugh under your breath because you're like, you already saw it coming. That's when you're winning,
Right. If you focus enough to say, I'm not going to think about everything that's going to happen today, that means you're clearing your mind out.
Right.
You're saying, I'm going to clear this thing out. Basically like a chalkboard.
Yeah.
And you got all the stuff on there from yesterday. You say, I'm erasing all that off.
Yeah.
I'm going to just take that eraser and erase everything on that chalkboard off. And now it's empty. And I'm not going to worry about what's going to be put on the chalkboard today.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm just going to enjoy, where I am I'm going to enjoy this freedom to think about what I want to think about.
Hmm.
And whatever I have to deal with, I have to deal with.
Exactly. Exactly.
You don't build up any anxiety
Right.
when you're doing it the way you said it.
Oh, absolutely.
Because because anxiety comes when you get up in the morning, you brush your teeth, you say, I know my boss gonna come in with that stupid report today.
Exactly.
I know he gonna
Exactly.
bring it to me.
Hmm.
Well, so what are you doing? You're already setting a tone for an unhappy day,
Right. Precisely.
right?
Precisely.